Hello and welcome to the BS Podcast, where we talk the absurd, the ridiculous, the wild, the wacky, and of course, the bullshit. Hi, I'm Dave. Joining me is my fellow connoisseur in bullshit as we're curating all the crazy stories of the week, Mr. Zach. Zach, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. I'm finally over this terrible Ravens loss over the weekend, so now I'm ready to move on into cap season.
Yeah, sorry about that. And of course, Lamar Jackson getting hurt towards the end of the game, not coming back. And although there was a little bit of a glimmer of hope that there's a couple of plays there, you could have actually maybe driven and gotten a little bit closer, right? I mean, the game stayed close.
Yeah, our defense showed up. I mean, look, if Tucker wouldn't have missed those 2 field goals, that's 6 points right there. That would have been 9. Jackson didn't throw that pick 6. Down to 11. That's a 9. That's another field goal game. So, but we could just get nothing could happen for us on offense. Which
Tucker boinked 2 of them off the.
Oh my god! I don't care how windy it was. I don't care. You get paid millions of dollars. You're supposed to be the most accurate kicker in the NFL. I don't care.
Yeah. So I'm very, very sorry for that loss. But now you're just shifting gears to hockey season.
Shifting gears to hockey. Yep.
So that was your personal BS. As for me, I'm a little bit bundled up here in chilly Tampa. I'm just still not used to it. I want to go back to shorts and a t-shirt.
Well, not that much longer until your springtime starts coming down there.
Yeah, then I'll be complaining about the heat. That's just life.
That's what always happens. Every winter, it's like I can't wait to bitch about how hot it is outside.
And some other personal BS. Zach, we might as well get this out of the way. This will be your final show here on the BS Podcast, as you are departing for I guess greener pastures.
Biden is getting into presidency tomorrow, so this is my last show because I'm going to be leaving the country. Going to take a boat up to across the pond. I guess I don't know.
Is that it? You're making good on your promise to leave Biden's elected? I don't think that's the case. I do want to let everybody know that, and to thank you here on record for being a great colleague and become a friend over these years. We've worked together for a number of years, not just in this company. It's been great to get to know you. It's always a pleasure to work with you, and I will certainly be sad to see you go. This is my personal BS.
Oh, thank you, Dave. That means a lot.
Yeah, Zach does a absolute ton behind the scenes, and I drag him here once a week to come and talk about the silliness of all the stuff that's going on in the world. So I do appreciate that. And for those of you who don't know what we do here, we count down the 5 bullshittiest stories of the week. We scour the internet for all the crazy, silly, and wacky stories out there in the world, and we give them each a score of 1 to 10, and then rank them at the end of the show. And in fact, this may be the final tally of the BS-ometer too. So we may kiss that goodbye.
Yeah, if it's just you, we'll get rid of it.
Well, certainly the end of an era, and I will be here next week flying this plane solo. So please join me. All right. So do you want to get to, now that we have all the sad stuff out of the way, do you want to have a laugh at all the craziness that's been going on?
Let's do it. Yeah. Let's dive right in.
All right, let's start with story number 1. This comes from Business Insider, Zach. In 2013, a British IT worker named James Howells threw away a hard drive with a digital wallet containing what was then a little-known, virtually worthless cryptocurrency known as Bitcoin. Fast forward, at the time of the writing, a single Bitcoin is trading at just under $40,000. And his 7,500 Bitcoins would be worth about $275 million. Oh man!
Could you imagine knowing that you had that fortune and it slipped right through your fingers?
I mean, how often is it that that you have something that's basically what you consider junk, and it's just.
Yeah. How many times has it happened with people that grew up with action figures and toys, and they say this isn't going to be worth anything and just toss in the garbage, and now it's vintage Beanie Babies or whatever, $70,000 a piece. Damn well there was someone that had a collection of all the rare ones, thinking that they were worthless and just threw them away.
I know, right? Just I don't know, some little old lady finds something at a yard sale, and she goes on Antique Roadshow, and it's $300,000 plate or something.
Mm-hmm.
but he is on the wrong side of that. And actually, in fact, since the way it is, he must have had his wallet must have been not transferable. It was encoded on his hard drive. He tossed his computer, and now he's trying to get this thing back somehow. He's willing to offer the city like $70 million, or basically a quarter of the proceeds, to try to hunt out this.
Yeah, dig it all up. You know, this seems like I was following this story pretty closely because I think there's bullshit on many levels here, but I think it's hilarious to think about how this could be like a reality show for like TLC or something like that. You know, like Storage Wars, how they go around to storage and try to find gems. And so this could be definitely be a reality TV series where every episode they dig up a different part of the dump or something and try to find, the hard drive. And
yeah, so that's interesting. So do you think we might see some random scavenger? They're gonna have to be on the lookout now for random scavengers going through the landfill to try to dig up this.
So yeah, people are probably breaking at night with shovels trying to dig it up. I mean, how many years ago was it that they took the hard drive to the landfill?
I mean, there's got to be no chance, right?
I mean, that's like a needle in a haystack in a field of haystacks. You know what I mean? I don't know how you do it at that point. And how is it just not completely destroyed? Crushed. I mean, when I don't know about landfills, anywhere else, but at least I know the landfill in my house, they fill in the trash and then they ride over it with bulldozers and shit to crunch it all down. Like, how is that thing even, even if they did find it, it would probably just be in scraps of nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume just environmental damage, getting rained on, run over, dirt. Even if you could retrieve the thing, who knows? But so far, the city of Newport has refused the offer, and they won't even have a face-to-face discussion with him on the matter. I mean, I don't even know. How does he even know that it went there? What if it went somewhere else?
Yeah.
I mean,
I have no idea.
It could be anywhere.
Yeah, unless he, called local, unless he's lived in the same house and said, unless I don't know if they have record of it or they just say we always take your trash to this landfill. And he says, well, I haven't moved in 5 or 6 years or whatever it has been. But that's crazy. It's crazy. I remember I was at a financial conference working, broadcasting it from I don't know. This was back when Bitcoin was so cheap, just starting to come out again. It was one of those things where everyone thought it was some stupid, silly little thing.
Yeah.
There was a guy on stage talking about it, and he was like, you should just ask your employer just a very small percent of your paycheck. Ask if they can pay you in Bitcoin. Just some employers are able to do that now. He's like, you never know what it could be. And everyone, I mean, he got laughed off stage. And look at that. Now he's retired and a multimillionaire because he has all this Bitcoin piled up.
Oh man, and I think a couple weeks back, on another show, I commented how there's a Carolina Panthers lineman who's is asking to have his salary split half and half in dollars and in Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
There's another crazy story about a man, I believe in Germany, who lost his password, and he has 2 attempts left to retrieve it
before it all gets destroyed. Oh man.
Oh,
they don't got a forgot your password button or something like that on it. When you forget your password on a website.
He probably did what was told to be the safest thing, which is to write it down on a piece of paper or something like that, or to put it on a thumb drive. It's very easy to lose.
Yeah.
I might have just, my kid might have been in here one day and just threw it out.
Yeah.
Or something, and you've lost a fortune.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm sure there's probably more stories like this that people that had them back in the day, and they're sitting in a wallet somewhere where they forgot about how to use it. But to the amount of 7,500 lost in one place. And I think what pisses me off most about this, which is the biggest bullshit that I don't think a lot of people realize this, is that there's only a certain finite amount of Bitcoins in existence.
Right.
There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. It's not something they just keep generating and generating. So that's 75,000. What is it? 77,500. Right. Bitcoin. That's 7,500 Bitcoins that just will never be replaced. They're just forever in existence in a landfill destroyed somewhere, which absolutely sucks when you think about it like that.
Totally. That does make you think, what percent really is there? Like you were alluding to, how much of it is unretrievable? And then what is it? Then how valuable is something that you can't have or access to?
Exactly. And I think about 21 million how much is left in the world that hasn't been mined yet?
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy to me when what was the guy's name or the group that invented Bitcoin? His name escapes me.
Satoshi.
That's it. Yeah, Satoshi. What they were thinking, because they still don't know who that person is. If it's a person or a group of people,
right, right.
Like what was in their mind when they were creating this? Like, why does it have a finite amount available? But it's just crazy to me that it's just gone.
It's nuts, and I believe the way it works is where the closer you get to the end of mining it, the more difficult it gets.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you have to generate a lot of electricity. And I think I don't know if this was Indonesia. There was a town with blackouts, and the local government was blaming it on
Bitcoin mining,
sucking all the power.
Yeah, they say you can even today, you can still make a lot of money mining Bitcoin, obviously, because it's worth a lot. But if you live in a town that's like powered by hydroelectric,
yeah,
and you can get electricity dirt cheap, you can clean up doing it.
And I remember seeing some stories of people going into universities and going to the computer lab and trying to get all the computers to mine the Bitcoin for them. It's craziness.
Harvard University or whatever is just like, why the hell's our electric bill so high this month? Jesus.
It's like what's the movie where was it Christmas Vacation where the power plant shuts down because Clark's
because the Clark's light
Christmas
display.
lights, same thing. All right, so this is bullshitty, very much so. Poor guy. You just gotta let it go, I guess. It's gone. Your mistake. Poor James Howells. Go ahead. Did you have any more on this?
I did not know.
All right, what do you got for a rating for it?
I got a 9.
Yeah, this is high for me. This is an 8. Oh, unbelievable. And you wonder if he's trying to, the originators of Bitcoin. What the hell, man? Why did you design this thing? And I could potentially be rich and I can't get my goddamn password because it's on a hard drive.
That's so true.
Oh, unbelievable. All right, story number 2, Zach. There's a bizarre male fashion trend going on. And for those who haven't seen it yet, this is the monkey tail beard. Look at this guy. Oh, man. It apparently was popularized by Oakland A's pitcher Mike Fears, who we could blame on this for starting this last year. And now it is apparently taking the internet by storm. I mean, this thing is really stupid.
That
isn't
is
it,
nuts. That one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, with the multicolor. Yeah, I saw a red, white, and blue version of this.
You know what's funny? Like, I don't know if you've ever noticed this. Look at that one.
Spiral.
Like, I don't know if you've ever watched old movies that show like the future or whatever, and you see like people with these weird fashion trends. You're like, when would that ever be the fashion? When would anyone actually do that to their hair? And this is proof that this is the kind of weird shit we're going to do in the future. It
just takes one guy to start something. Oh, so I mean, this thing is not what I meant at the top here, where I think this pertains to us is I worry for the future of beards now, because are people growing tired of the beard? And is this maybe the beginning of the end of the beard? I've had mine for a number of years. I know you have as well. I really don't ever intend on shaving it ever again. So, no, I mean, could this be the beginning of an anti-beard fashion trend where men are more clean shaven going forward?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, we'll just be left in the dark, because I'm not shaving my beard off. My wife won't let me shave my beard off.
Oh, so it's actually the opposite for me. My wife wants mine.
Oh yeah.
Well, she doesn't like rubbing faces and kissing and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you know what?
I was thinking I was one to just like cut mine down a little bit, not even like I was thinking about cutting mine like you have yours.
Yeah.
My wife was like, no, I like it the way it is. I'm like,
she likes the big, burly, bushy.
I'm like, sure, keep it.
But I do wonder, that it's a common joke, how parents maybe different generations, you could pick somebody up, but they don't change their style. Like I think of like my dad, he has the same haircut he had when he was a senior in high school.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And I wonder if now, as fashion changes, of course, here I am with with an actual flannel and a beard.
Yeah.
If I'm going to look, in 20, 30 years, if I'm going to look like a relic of 2010s and 20s.
That's right, because I'm not going to start dressing, the way that you see kids now dressing. That makes me sound like so freaking old, but I mean, it's the truth.
I know, it really is. We all end up with our own little personal time capsules, don't we?
Mm-hmm. 100%.
So you're not as worried as I am that this is the beginning of the end of the beard. Do you think this is just a little minor blip here and a little wrinkle?
Yeah, maybe. And then the real people with the real beards will be able to stick around. Won't get no more of the people with like the patches, I'm talking about. They can't really grow a beard. Just shave it.
It's ridiculous. But I could not resist this story this week. And what you think is, of course, you never know online, how many, you expect to see a monkey tail. That when I see a monkey tail in real life, then I'll start worrying. So far, it seems to be an internet trend.
You just start carrying a pair of clippers in your pocket, and then when you just walk them and just like shave it right off his face.
I did share it, by the way, as I mentioned, my wife really doesn't like the beard, and I said, well, what about this to her today? And she goes, hell no. She's not on board for the monkey tail either. All right. So do you have anything left on this latest male fashion trend, Zach?
I don't. I'm going
to give a score. I don't think it's not high level BS, other than my little worry that this could be the beginning of the end. I'm going to give it a 5. What do you got?
I got a 4.
Okay. We're pretty close there. That comes at a total of 9. Actually, maybe the other blessing of you not being here is I won't have to.
No more counting. No more math.
Basic arithmetic here. All right, so let's move on to a bit more serious topic here. This story comes from KTLA, which is Los Angeles, but a story from Washington State. Walt Patrick slowly rolls a giant wooden spool-shaped cradle back and forth. Inside, a human body is gradually being turned into compost, one of the first licensed natural organic reductions to be performed in the entire county. This is simply another option at a time when people feel like they have no options. Death has intervened and changed your life forever. How can you do something at least to make it the way you want? And this says in 2019, Washington Governor Jay Inslee signed legislation making Washington the first state to approve human composting as an alternative to burying or cremating human remains. Advocates say composting is a greener alternative to cremation because it uses less energy. And it's also the only legal way for Washingtonians to be laid to rest on their own property, albeit in the form of mulch. Zach, what do you think? What are your initial thoughts about the idea of human compost?
I would be into this. That's what I would kind of prefer to do in my will. I'd rather have that.
You're not looking for cremation or burial?
I don't think I'd get cremated, although I think I would rather get cremated than just turned into mulch. But if you're turning into mulch, at least you can do something with it. It just seems like a cool little alternative. Like there was one that was going around that I thought was cool where they put your body inside of this pod thing that's made of dirt.
Yeah.
And it's got a tree seed in the top of the pod. And then instead of a gravestone, a tree grows out of your dead body pretty much. And wow. Instead of your family come to visit a tombstone, they come to visit this tree.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That seems kind of a cool little alternative. I mean, they're going to have to start thinking of something because, there's only so many places you can bury people. I mean, next time you drive past, at least around where I live, every graveyard I drive past, I'm like, that looks pretty full. That's pretty much brimming to the edge. Where are they going to start putting people? So
I would like the Viking funeral where they set you off on a boat down a river or off in the sea and they shoot a
flaming arrow at you
or something, and they shoot flaming arrow into it and you burn up and it burns the whole thing. But I don't think that's legal.
Yeah, probably not. Why isn't it though? That's what I don't understand. That's my bullshit behind all this. Why can't you just, all right, he's dead. The government knows you're dead or whatever. Why don't we just do whatever with the body you want? Yeah. Bury him in the backyard, like we used to do.
Yeah, well, I guess the idea is, you could buy a house and there could be a dead body.
That's a good point.
It may be a way of, it's probably also too for crimes, you can't just bury a body, right? Well, I don't know, he just died. I didn't kill him. I just wanted to give him a good grave. Now, the interesting thing here is it turns out, and the human body is not very easy to dispose of. There's this really lengthy process for them to process a body, and of course, we have some people have fillings, and the bones really don't break down, so it's a very complicated process. And I do like, though. I have to go back to that tree idea. That is interesting because I went to the website of the company that does this, Recompose. And basically, it's a 2 to 3 month process, and it costs $5,500 to do.
That's a lot of money.
You're not looking for it's not cheap. Although you looked up the cost of a typical.
I mean, according to Google, whatever the average funeral cost is $8,000 in the United States, which is a lot of money. When you told me about this, I was thinking, oh, that's a cheap option. I was thinking about like the end of Fargo, putting someone through the wood chipper and just like spreading the remains around and letting the grass grow. Like I don't know.
And throughout this whole process. Of course, they transform the body into soil, which does take a lot of work and a lot of time and certain temperature stuff. So this is not an easy process. This isn't like composting some vegetable scraps or something like that. It's a bit more complicated than that, which reminds me, I had a neighbor who said she was composting, which consisted of her just throwing out her trash to the yard next to me. That is not composting. But at the end of this, at the very end, they give you a 64-ounce container of soil. I don't know. That just feels hollow to me, Zach. That's why I think I like your tree idea better.
And then you take the soil and do what with the soil? I guess use it in your garden. Yeah,
I guess so. Then there's Grandpa growing a tomato for me or something. I mean, would you want to eat that?
No.
No.
No, I don't know why I had it different in my mind. I was thinking about like a public garden or something like that, where like it's like a graveyard, but like plants are growing instead of tombstones.
Just to clear it up, the remainder of it does go to Bell's Mountain Conservation Forest, so it just sort of gets spread around. And then maybe I guess you can go visit there and say,
hey, this is Grandpa.
Yeah, my loved one is spread out amongst. I don't know though. I don't know if there's enough memory there. I don't know if that honors the dead quite. I mean, it's up to now. This is a legal option, so it's up to you if you want to return back to the earth, so to speak. I mean, I do like the headstone idea because you can go somewhere and remember them, or if they get cremated, you can put them in an urn or something like that. I don't know. I guess the whole thing is weird, really. And I guess this is the next alternative. It's a little strange to wrap my head around this.
Oh yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, it's crazy. But I would do the tree pod thing. I've been looking at that for a while though. I mean, it's pretty cool. You just go instead of going to see a gravestone, you go and see a tree.
Yeah, that is cool. As it goes over the years, and your family can go see it. Yeah, that I actually do like that. Is a bit of a monument, a living and growing monument to your loved ones. I think that's cool.
And from death comes life.
Yeah, exactly. Now they're accepting some bodies. Just look at the FAQ here. The availability is they can do about 10 bodies a month in the soil if anyone's interested. Not if you're in imminent death. They need some advance. The process takes 2 to 4 weeks, in total 30 days. Actually, this place is a funeral home, so I guess they have a license to dispose of bodies.
Okay.
You can also donate your organs. So if you want only partial, you want to donate your organs and the rest to soil, you can do that. So I don't know, interesting stuff here. It's a little bit bizarre to get your head around. It's a bit morbid. Do you think this will? Do you think people will jump? Do you think this will be popular? Basically, do you think it might spread to other states?
I think I can see it spreading to other states. Will it become popular? I don't know.
I don't think so either. My dad died, and all I got was a half gallon of soil. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you're just doing it to get soil, why wouldn't you just get them cremated and then you can get a nice urn or something like that? Like,
yeah, I'm not really buying this like environmental argument.
I'm not going to put my dad in my front garden, and I'm just not going to leave a pot of soil sitting up. You know what I mean? I don't know. That seems kind of funny to me, but I mean,
yeah, I think so too.
I like that they spread it in like a forest. That's kind of cool. I would go like take a walk through the forest and be like, Grandpa's here. But like you said, there's no real attachment to it. It's just kind of like whatever.
Yeah, and now you're just in like a death forest.
Yeah. The most haunted forest in the entire world.
Literally. Yeah. I know. So I find some I think it's an interesting conversation around different ways of honoring the dead, and it's certainly their choice to do so. I don't think this is the answer. I find this a bit bullshitty. Any more on this morbid subject, Zach?
No.
What do you got for a rating?
I got a 7.
Yeah, I got an 8 because this whole thing just feels gimmicky to me.
Yeah, seems like some weird thing for people to spend their money on.
Oh, very.
I wish it was cheaper. If it was cheaper, I'd be like, you know what, this is a really nice alternative. But $5,500,
right?
It just seems, even if it's a difficult process, it still just seems kind of expensive to me.
Yeah, you gotta sweeten the pot here a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, let's move on to our fourth story here. As lots of places around Europe, and this story comes from Canada, as COVID continues to go around and never end. There's been more and more extreme lockdowns of certain places, and particularly in Quebec. A man and a woman thought they found a way around the COVID curfew lockdown rules, which is, I believe, made you have to stay home from between 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. But didn't quite work out for them. Zach, what was their way of getting around this? A woman was caught walking her husband around on a leash. And she told cops she was just simply walking her dog, which is an activity.
Please tell me he was like on his hands and knees and she was like actually like leading him.
Yeah, no footage or pictures have been released here. I imagine he was on 2 legs. If he was on all 4s, that would have been absolutely hilarious.
Hell yeah.
Lifting his leg by a fire hydrant or something like that. They were both fined $1,500 each, Zach. That's pretty extreme.
Man. Yeah, especially if it was just a joke. Like if they were like, let's go mess with this cop out front, you know what I mean? But they end up writing a ticket and they're like, shit, now we got to pay $3,000 for this practical joke we played.
Now, apparently they were walking towards downtown, and the woman was a bit combative towards the cops, I guess. I'm allowed to walk my dog. You can't tell me I can't walk my dog.
If you're crazy enough to try to walk your husband on a leash to break a curfew, I'm pretty sure you're going to resist arrest. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't. I don't know if there's no disability law, but I wonder if there's, maybe you can get sanctioned from the government as like some bizarre relationship, like a master slave, human pet marriage or something, and you get an exemption there. Like
I don't know.
My husband's legally registered as a dog, so I can actually walk.
But it's just so funny because people are doing anything that they can possibly think of to try to get around this lockdown and curfew.
Oh, they really are. Yeah, there's lots of stories going around of this. People just trying to bypass them as much as they can. Now, yeah. 8 o'clock, that's pretty early. I don't know, but I guess it's on a weekend. A lot of people are certainly out. And I think you're allowed, the only exemption is walking their dog, as far as I could tell, for leaving the house after that time, which is fair. I know there was a story in Australia. I don't know if we touched on it here, but you weren't even allowed to go outside with your dog.
Yeah, what was the option? Just let your dog shit everywhere in your house now?
No one could. Yeah, that's your only alternative. Who's going to do that? I'm sorry, I'm taking.
Hopefully, there was people lucky enough to have a fenced-in yard.
Yeah.
If not, like shit, what are you going to do?
That's it. And these restrictions are: you can only go a half a mile outside your house, which I think is generous. Although if you live in a city, you may not have a place to go. God, with your dog, hereby I got a field right behind me, so I can let mine out. But I don't know. Do you think things are getting a little bit extreme, that people are resorting to walking their spouses with a leash in order to go outside?
I think that's probably the definition of extreme.
I think so too. And this $1,500, man, that's not light.
Yeah.
Each, so that's $3,000 for the couple. That's a massive fine.
Yeah, you could have bought a lot of dogs for that amount, and then you wouldn't have had to get fined. You could have actually walked a real dog.
I know, right? Would have been worth it. Or we don't know. I'm looking for an update to this story to see what kind of relationship they actually have. Could this be? Could he be a submissive or something like that? Or
I would put money that he is. It is a domination type situation.
Was he on all fours? If we can get a picture if he was walking or if he was crawling, then we can get some clarity on that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's okay, so it's up for me to give a rating. I think the story is the action is bullshit, but I also think the $1,500 fine each is maybe the biggest bullshit. So I'm gonna once again I'm gonna go ahead and I'll just give it a 7. What do you got?
I got an 8.
8 for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got another 15. We flip-flopped on the last one. Zach, are you ready to get to our final story of your tenure here, buddy?
I am.
All right.
Ended on a good note too.
Yeah. This one may be the most important story we've ever covered 100%. Here. Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle explodes in UK woman's home, said to have ignited an inferno. Gwyneth Paltrow's brand Goop sells a candle that, quote, smells like my vagina. So if you want to know what Gwyneth Paltrow smells like, you can have that sent all over your home. Zach, for a mere $75 a candle, that sounds like a great deal.
Yeah, that's not bad. I pay $75 for that candle.
Unbelievable. By the way, this thing on the release of it, it's sold out. Can you believe that? I mean, is this a gag gift, a novelty item? You think people actually want this?
I have a few questions. One, how did they get the scent into candle form? Most candles are made from like wax and essential oils and then a wick. You know, you let it harden and then the essential oils burn when the wax burns. But and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never seen vagina essential oil in the grocery store or the essential oil store. So, you know, where did they get the scent from? Two, the other thing I'm wondering is like the reason it sold so much, did this candle have some kind of like proceeds for charity as far as like, yeah, it smells like my vagina, but really it's supposed to support for like, I don't know, women's reproductive rights or something like that?
I cannot answer the second one. As to the first one, as to the origins of the scent, I don't believe it was used from the source. I think what happened was they came up with a combination of scents, and they resembled. Gwyneth Paltrow says it's.
They're just like mixing shit together, trying to make a normal candle. And she's, "Oh my god, Gwyneth smells." She's like, "This kind of smells like my vagina." Like, really? It does. Let's put it in a candle. Perfect.
It puts something together. It's like, oh, this smells like a donkey's ass. It was like, bingo, $75. Let's do it. So somebody was duped into buying this Goop brand vagina scented candle. A woman in the UK. She lit it here, and she claims it exploded in her house. And there is the woman here. And I guess it melted and blew up or something, but you know, nothing crazy. And then so there's the label there. It smells like my vagina. This product went on sale early last year, and this has got to be the most bizarre of bizarre products, right?
So bizarre.
I mean, it essentially speaks for itself. The insanity that anyone would buy.
I just don't know why you'd want your room to like smell like that. Like, you know, like after I work out or something, do I want a candle to smell like my sweaty balls? Like, no, I don't think so. You know, but like,
oh man, we are going out with a bang here. Your final show, Zach. I think we got to end this segment. I'd love to know what all of you think about the vagina scented candle. Have you bought it? And does it resemble the source? Did you shell out $75 for this candle? I also want to know what you guys think about the Bitcoin story, the monkey tail beard, the human compost, and the woman dragging her husband around on a leash in Montreal, both getting fined for a total of $3,000. Zach, I believe this will be your final score here. What do you make of this exploding vagina?
I got an 8.
8 here. I got a 9, just because I'm just mad at it. I'm mad at the product. I'm mad that anyone would buy this. And, really disappointed in Gwyneth Paltrow for her quality control here. Letting this 1 for the scent and 2 for this thing exploding. So those are our top 5 stories of the week. And scoring these down are coming in at number 5 is the monkey tail beard. Number 2, we actually have a tie for third or fourth. Is between the human compost and the dog leash. I'm going to let you just be a human tiebreaker here. Which one? Where are we going to slot 3 and 4?
Let's do human dog leash 4.
Okay, and then legalizing human compost. Number 3. And in fact, we have a tie for 1 and 2. It's between the vagina candle and a man losing all his Bitcoin fortune, $273 million, I believe it was. Do you want to be the human tiebreaker once again?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to go vagina candle 2 and Bitcoin 1.
Okay. That poor idiot throwing his hard drive away. Oh, man. Unbelievable.
That is one big pile of shit.
Well, those are your top 5 bullshittiest stories of the week. I want to thank you all for joining in. I'd love to hear your comments on all of these stories. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're watching there. Hit the like button. If you're watching on Facebook, please hit the like button as well. And share this video with your friends. Zach, it's been a pleasure, buddy. Any final words for me and anybody out there listening as you sail off?
Yeah, well, there's plenty of bullshit in the world. Make sure you all laugh at it. Let's see. It's just signing off here. If you are listening to this show and you want to know what else you can do to get more, you can go to informedamerican.com. You can sign up for our free newsletter for everything current events, breaking news. You can go to wallstreetwirenews.com and do the same. Sign up for our free letter for everything finance and economy.
Absolutely. For Zach, I am Dave, having the giggles, and I've had enough of this BS.
You've been listening to the BS Podcast with Dave and Zach, part of the Informed American Radio Network. Please like and subscribe today in order to get fresh new weekly episodes. Please send us your BS stories to info@informedamerican.com. The world is hard enough, and now we gotta deal with this bullshit.